going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's me, London. Back here with another video. Straight off of work. I'm sorry. How's everybody doing today, man? Man, we got 1,007 subs. Thank you all for watching my videos and subbing and liking the videos. I really greatly appreciate it. But today, we're going to see how Drake made the worst mistake of his entire career. Now, I'm not quite sure what's going on. I have not been keeping up. I have seen recently that Freddie Gibbs has been getting to the fold, talking about how they're still in the whole bunny rabbit thing and the soul separately album concept art, you know, or the album cover, I mean. So, I don't know. They showed the track list, Drake and P&B, or whoever's labeled this, I don't know, OVO. And it had bunny rabbits in it, and Freddie had something to say about. But, you know, Freddie's usually just a troll, so that's about it. But also, there's a lot of people saying that no one was singing in the crowd during the Super Bowl, or just the crowd was dead throughout the entire performance besides certain parts. Well, turns out that was a fucking lie, because there's so many videos showing everyone singing and dancing along to all the songs that he came out with. So I don't know what they're talking about. I know Kai Cenat's been coming on the fire for that. I've also seen that someone's made a fucking contest to to see who can hate the most on the Kendrick performance at the Super Bowl for $50,000. And that's honestly kind of crazy to me. I know people trying to link that to Kai and everything, so I don't know what's going on with that. I don't believe that Kai is actually doing that for $50,000. But, you know, Kai's been getting a lot of heat. That's all I'm gonna say. He's getting a lot of heat, and I don't really agree with what he said about the whole performance, because we have proof of what happened. Anyways, let's get into the video. Let's see what they're talking about on Fantastic Hip Hop. Shout out to him and sub to his channel as well. Let's go.
Point we are at, as Drake is having one of the worst weeks of his entire career because of just how much the Super Bowl has humiliated his entire name. Unlike real greats who, when they are down, try to win back people to their side and do something that may be a step in the right direction, Drake is only marking his territory further and further in the losses he has already taken. And now, while Drake has been embarrassing non-stop after the Grammys and Super Bowl, and we have all seen this, with what Drake has just done and what he is about to follow it up with, he isn't just doing something anymore that is making us all laugh at him even more for being the biggest loser in hip-hop.
Also, what do y'all think? What's y'all projections for this album selling? Like, do you think Drake will be back on top if he when he releases his album tonight? I'm pretty sure. I'm not staying up until 12 o'clock to listen to this shit. I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to. I'll probably listen to it tomorrow on stream, or try to. But I know I got people coming to the house, so I just know I'm not gonna have time, probably. But y'all let me know what y'all think he's gonna get, or how many sales he's gonna get. Someone put some predictions down.
But he has made a mistake so bad that he has angered and been put within the worst light possible from the people who made him the star who he became in the first place. And of course, I am talking about his label UMG. As now, beyond Drake even suing them, Drake managed to make things even worse, as he just made this beef personal within the strangest way between him and the head of the label, Lucian. And now, between what Drake did, which just disrespected the wrong person, and the fact that he is now about—
Yeah, I saw he posted, like, his daughter or something like that. Drake, my boy, when are you gonna learn? Stop bringing people's families into this shit, bro. If you got a problem with the man, just say you got the problem with him. Stop bringing up people's fucking family members. It's crazy. Relax. Have you not learned from the first two times? Pusha did it. You did the Pusha, you did the Kendrick. Now you're doing the Lucian. Who knows who else you did it to? I think someone said he did the Most Def too. He followed his daughter. You're out your mind, bro. Chill out with that.
To release his new album and try to prove that he is bigger than his label in the industry, although we all know he is not. What is now clear is that beyond whatever else Drake has done in the past, he has officially made sure that he is never going to have a career, and the industry is about to make an example out of him so bad. But now, before we go any further into all of this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And so now with Drake, I mean, when it comes to how this guy handles problems and decides to make moves, At this point, it really seems like he doesn't even want to have a career anymore, because there's just no way you can make this many awful decisions for the betterment of your career as a whole. Because once again, after losing nearly everything, Drake is making the same mistake that made Pusha T embarrass him. Kendrick Lamar take away everything he ever had. Has even made LeBron never speak to him again. And in all honesty, within a way that is much weirder and more off-putting.
Good God, that
when it
dance.
comes to Drake and UMG right now, as Drake is back on his plot twist account and is trying to hype up his new album with Party Next Door, which in of itself, and just to show how many problems Drake is having, nobody seems to care about that record at all. Drake is now making strange posts to try and get some...
Is no one caring about Drake's new record? I have not listened to it. Is there like an actual song that came out? Someone let me know if they did. I would greatly appreciate it.
Some sort of attention for this record, and while he was trying to build an aesthetic for what is about to become his lamest album, the post that got the most attention was a picture that Drake posted of Lucien's daughter-in-law Sophia Richie. And
his daughter-in-law,
saw Drake
my bad.
do this and was questioning that if after losing to every single other person he has to this point and making them as angry as they did because he involved their families, why would he do this now against the most powerful person in the industry? Overall, while Drake's remaining fans may think he is standing up to the industry and is tough for this, we all just see this as another losing move that, beyond being weird, considering the actual effects that angering the people you are messing with can have on this entire move, just doesn't seem well thought out at all. But really, none of Drake's other moves have been in the first place, so I guess we shouldn't be surprised.
Exactly. Why would you? I was about to say this. Same exact thing, man. You keep doing this shit, bro. You keep repeating the cycle of what you did wrong the first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time. You're not gonna learn, apparently. You're just gonna keep doing this dumb shit. That's on you, bro. That is on you.
And now, beyond Drake's obsession with making all of his feuds and standoffs that are over his career so personal, the question we need to ask is if Drake realizes that in this time where between both the success that Kendrick Lamar is seeing, as he is literally breaking every record on the charts, and even other artists who he has beef with like The Weeknd, who just did record numbers with his new album, that overall, beyond the competition of dropping right in this time where the biggest stars who you compete with have never been elevating their careers and names higher, that now you are not just going to have to stand off against and follow up the time where Kendrick Lamar has 5 songs in the top 10 on the Billboard and the entire top 3, and 3 top 10 albums to make things even harder, and the highest monthly listener count from a rapper, and now over 90 million listeners because that keeps going up, and so much else. But when it comes to the label that has made sure that every single one of your albums up to this point performed the way it was supposed to, even when the quality was lacking, and of course you already have major problems with, Drake just made things so much harder as he took this feud to an entire new level, which is without a doubt gonna solidify that for the first time in Drake's career, this record is not going to get pushed the way his past albums were, which means that it won't be forced onto every playlist and trying to have every single draw that it possibly can. Oh my God,
I just thought about that,
overall will then make this music...
Yeah, you fucking with Lucien, bro. Why are you doing that? I just thought about that. What are you doing? That makes no sense. You have benefited off this guy pushing your albums, putting you on Spotify playlists that you probably don't even need to be on to begin with, such as the UK playlist. I don't know how you got on there. And, you know, I don't know. I don't know what you're thinking.
Music, which already sounds so lacking, have the very difficult task of standing on its own for the first time in Drake's entire career since he has been in the actual industry. And I mean, considering the fact that Drake's fans are making a push and full-on plan on how to support Drake and this new album because even they are scared of having to defend the mess that he has made, and they do not believe that he can put up numbers like he did in the past, because otherwise they would not be making an organized effort to support this thing. This is really showing just how bad of a position Drake is in right now, because with the fact that the most delusional fan base in hip-hop is now starting to see the reality of where their favorite artist is at, which is of course not a good one, it is just starting to create the final chapter in what is going to be the moment that is going to end Drake's career once and for all. Because with Drake releasing an album in this time, we're now beyond him losing all of his...
Hey, all he had to do was just release an album, not doing this bullshit, bro. That's all you gotta do. Keep your head down. Pause. Keep your head down and don't... Just stop fucking with people. Just stop! Damn!
Hype as an artist, Because more than ever, we saw the people are pretty much done with him for the most part at the Super Bowl. He has now just made the last thing that, as we all know, can make careers still look like they are going strong even when they are not. Just have no reason to not just never support you again, but in actuality work against you. Because again, as Drake is now making this beef and standoff he is having with his label go to the most personal level, as he is bringing the head of UMG's daughter-in-law into the public eye, and is now having his weird fans all talking about her and giving her unnecessary attention within this time where everything around Drake is just starting controversy and problems. Overall, Drake really was not thinking with this one, and he is going to regret this. As again, with people...
He hasn't thought about anything he's been doing lately, I'll be honest with you. God damn.
Like Kendrick and Pusha T, this tactic beyond not just working in a lyrical back and forth is just a strange way to even confront someone you have a problem with. And it really only adds to the things that Kendrick said about Drake in the first place, as Drake really does look to pick on everybody around the person he is beefing with besides them directly.
Exactly.
And overall, while he thinks he gets a gotcha moment out of this, in actuality, he looks weak for not going at the person straight on, and then he makes the person he is against like Kendrick and Push just diss him even harder. And so all in all, beyond this being weird behavior, which is showcasing the fact that Drake has never needed to grow up more than ever, because how are you still doing this thing, and especially when the consequences of doing so have never been higher? In the bigger picture of this all, we are going to look back at this moment as the very time that is going to make the industry not just refuse to ever help Drake, work with him again, and of course give him that ridiculous deal that he wants that even Taylor Swift doesn't have. But it's also going to make sure that this split Drake has from his label and in this era we are heading in is not an easy one for him, because I am sure they are going to make this record for him as difficult as possible to get out.
Honestly, I don't think they're going to do that. There's no way, because that loses them money at the end of the day, too. So I don't know. I don't know about that one. That might be, if they do that, hey, they probably got just so much money that they just don't give a fuck. If that's the case, if they're going to do that shit. But as business-wise, if it was me, I probably wouldn't do that, but who knows? I don't fucking know. It depends on down to like the relationship that they have with each other at this point. So I don't know anything about that. So it could be anything. It's up in the air for us, for all of us, because we don't know what their whole personal thing is with each other. So fuck it.
And perform at even a fraction of what he has done in the past, is they are not just going to give him no support, but they're going to end up doing the exact opposite of that. And I mean, even before we get this album, this is why, while we know this collab album with Party and Drake is being released under Drake's OVO sound imprint, which is not connected to UMG, we don't know, because of this weird setup, how much Drake is going to be blocked by the industry, and even if he is actually allowed to release this album under the terms he is currently in.
Oh,
because
damn.
there is a rumor that despite this album being pushed as a collab album as we know it, that because of the tricky position Drake is in, that has only been made worse because of every single thing he has done, that he won't even be able to be credited on the record, or that he will have to be listed as a feature. But I mean, no matter how this album ends up coming out, with now Drake making sure that this beef between him and his label is only going to get a lot worse, as he did the same thing to the head of his label that made him lose in some of the biggest rap beefs that have ever happened of all time.
Like, stop doing that. Just stop doing that. What is up with him doing that? Does he just, at this point, he just likes getting embarrassed. He likes it. He's in love with it. There's no reason for you to keep doing that shit.
Again, while maybe he thinks this pettiness gave him a cool post for his remaining fans, and maybe he thinks that this will make people want...
He likes getting specked on the bottom. What's going on?
To listen to this album for some reason. Beyond the games, when it comes to people who control the music industry and who have controlled and put Drake within the place to succeed the way he did for years, despite the fact that the quality of what he was releasing was down for so long. When you put all these pieces together, when you put all these pieces together and realize just how many problems Drake has
Hey, Fantastic Hip Hop, you sound like me sometimes, bro. Shit.
made, which despite what his fans will tell you, are all because of his own doing. Well, overall, with Drake no longer having the power he used to, this album isn't just gonna flop on its own, because really, just think to yourself, when has there ever been a Drake record coming out that has had this little hype for it? But even beyond the failure that was inevitable, as Kendrick said it's game over.
There's been no promo for this. There's been no promo for this album. I know Kendrick does the same thing, but you kind of expect it from him because he's not really trying to like put it out in the main stage. It's really just for his core audience, really. So they're gonna fuck with it regardless. But for Drake, I can't think of a album that he has not like put some money into and actually promoted it and done all these, like for the Drake and 21 Savage album. did a whole bunch of fake interviews, and hey, I don't know. That's weird. That's actually kind of. I just thought that's a good thought. That's a good thought. I don't know what to say there.
And Kendrick has never ascended into a higher #1 spot, all while Drake has never been in a worse place. Even beyond Drake's own failure, the industry is going to make everything for him look way worse, all because he took this entire beef he is in with them to an entire new level. And now, as we are finally about to get this new record from Drake and P&D, and it will be the first record, of course, that we have heard from Drake since he has lost everything. What is now very clear is that this record is bound to be one of the biggest failures we have ever seen from a rapper at this level, because ultimately, and what is going to bring this entire downfall for Drake full circle, and maybe what will finally teach him a lesson, is that all these games and petty antics he has been doing, instead of just
I don't think there's any teaching this guy, bro. You've done this too many times to not learn. I've been saying the entire video. You just like getting spanked on the bottom, bro. You got some sort of fetish with it. I don't know what it is, but that's your thing. That's his thing.
locking in and trying to make good music is going to be his ultimate downfall. Because in this time, and after losing so much and after doing nothing to make things just look a little bit better, he is now at the point where he is trying to put out an entire album without ever actually doing any of the work you need to make a proper comeback record in the first place. And now with all of the problems Drake has made, what is so clear is that when this record releases, from the fact that Kendrick Lamar may end up getting the #1 spot on the charts even without any new music because of all the Super Bowl hype, to the fact that
y'all think he's staying #1? Do y'all think Kendrick's staying #1 even with this release of the album? There's no way he's staying #1. It's Drake. At the end of the day, it is Drake. It is Drake. We gotta remember, it is Drake. He's the biggest artist apparently of all time. But you know, his fans are just, you know, they look past so much stuff. They just want to listen to his music at this point. Morally, they don't know what to do, honestly, with him. But they'll listen to his music regardless. But if Kendrick's still #1, I gotta give it to Kendrick. I gotta give it to Kendrick. That, bro, you've really did some damage to this man's career, and you were the only one to actually like do something. Well, Pusha T did something, but he didn't have as big as a name as Kendrick. So if Kendrick manages to stay #1, that's crazy. That's wild.
And now between both the paperwork he has sent out to the personal place he has brought things to, his label actually has every single reason to make sure the worth of Drake in the industry has never been lower. All in all, what's clear is that Drake's entire career and image is about to change in a way that nobody would have ever expected before this entire moment, and when this all happens, we can really say that Drake lost everything and he will only have himself to blame for it. And so now with all this said, let me know, what do you think of what Drake did with this strange move, and how do you think this is going to end up playing into what will become the failure of his new album? So I can't wait to hear what you have to say, and if you have any predictions for this record, please let me know in the comments. And
also let me know. Anyways, I know it's the end of the video. I want to thank you guys, and I appreciate you for the 1,000 subs. I just need my watch hours up, so I need y'all to please watch the full video, please. Other than that, if you like the video, like it, comment on it, subscribe if you want to. You ain't got to. I appreciate it if you do, though. If you didn't like it, you can dislike it. You can leave a comment. I'm probably just going to read it and then continue on with my day, no matter how mean it is. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. How do I end this?